skin.
Yeah, the take straight away. Welcome to the bottom of the garden.
Hello.
Hey, your gnomes, Williams and Bell.
Mr. Hodgkiss.
Mr. Hodgkiss. Mr. Hodgkiss.
That's what we decided last episode.
Williams, we did. Back to the bottom of the garden. Please, yes, thank you for the new followers and subscribers. Please follow or subscribe because it does give us a reason to chat to each other.
We don't need a reason why. We're friends who have known each other for...
No, we do, Craig. We do. We wouldn't be talking to each other otherwise, would we?
The occasional WhatsApp, maybe. All right. How's things? How's the wife? Yeah. How's the missus? Football shit, innit?
Yeah, good.
Cheer up.
Shall we dive straight into the ponder feedback? Do you want to sort of whip out your rod?
I love whipping out my rod and hearing what feedback we have got from our avid listeners. Yes, please do, Mr. Williams.
New listeners. So we've got at least a listener in Chicago, Illinois.
Very nice. CM Punk.
We've got a listener in Glenolden, Pennsylvania.
Oh, very nice. Go Penguins.
A new listener in Laredo, Texas.
Oh, very nice. Go Texans.
And
we'll go Cowboys.
Amsterdam, North Holland.
It's nice.
There we go.
Very nice. You're all very welcome.
And then also we've got from our in the ponder feedback. So on Spotify we've got apparently seven listeners.
Wow.
On Spotify now.
Unbelievable, Jeff. Hello, Spotify.
And the latest new listener found us by searching for jokes about gnomes.
Was that you actually, sir? Did you listen to your own podcast, Wells?
I didn't search for jokes about gnomes. Well, I
Episode 2, I think.
Yeah, so that means we have to carry on doing jokes about gnomes. So listen out for those later.
Look forward to it.
Also, just for us to find out a bit more about our audience and sort of make sure we gear our conversation to entertain our audience. Google Podcasts lets you know. Spotify. We're available on all major broadcasting.
Other podcasting platforms are available.
But on Spotify, it tells you what our listeners listen to. So it gives you a bit of what's the word?
So you get to learn some characteristics and...
Yeah, so they listen to Black Eyed Peas.
Very good. I had a feeling that was what they listened to.
Nicki Minaj.
Oh, very good.
You're more hip hop than me, Craig. Chef Special.
Chef Special.
Chef Special.
So a special chef or Chef Special to me would have been from South Park. Suck on my chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth and suck them. Hellfire, baby. That was the only chef.
Yeah, back in our day. Yeah, and I think a bit more hip hop. Jessica Hart.
She's lovely, I'm sure. Jessica Hart. Was she not? Did she not do Clarissa Explains It All, or was she not Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Clarissa Hart.
Was that Melissa Joan Hart?
And Whitney Houston.
Oh,
no, Whitney Houston.
Classic.
So
good taste.
Yeah, that's our audience.
That's our social demographics and the kind of things people who listen to this podcast also listen to. Well, listeners, we will always love you.
And the crowd have been shouting out for updates on I'm a Celebrity.
We can talk about I'm a Celebrity, yeah. It's been good. Do you want me to talk about that now?
Yeah, please. Yeah, that was the feedback. That's it, really, on the feedback.
I'm a Celebrity. So it's been really. I've enjoyed it. As I said on the previous podcast, it's a guilty pleasure. I enjoy how kind of nice it is. It's there's not too much backstabbing. Boy George has been a bit of a bitch at times, but on the whole, he has. He's but he's also he's all right. He is a bit of a bitch, but he made a couple of he was bitching about Matt Hancock because obviously he's a controversial character. But he also said to Matt Hancock, "I have been bitching about you." So I was like, I kind of respected it. I was like, yeah, at least he's not being two-faced. He's being bitchy, but he's not being a two-faced bitch where he's nice to his face and then, So it's been all right. But the whole show, there's a couple of people in there who are just lovely, and you think, I wish there was more people like them in the world. There's a woman called Jill Scott who was a footballer for the Lionesses. She's just lovely. And there's a guy called Owen who was an actor in Hollywood, or is an actor in Hollywood.
I saw she tweets more than Chris Moyles. I saw.
Oh yes, that was one of they didn't win some wine gums because of that, so they got it wrong. But there's a guy called Owen as well who's got. I mean, I'm telling you, I am heterosexual, but my God, the guy's body is he's a specimen, and he's not the smartest guy on I'm a Celebrity, but he's just lovely. You can see he's just got a heart of gold, and it puts a bit of hope that not all celebrities are complete knobheads. Some of them are actually quite nice and decent people.
You were a bit worried about Chris Moyle?
Yeah, because
how he might come across.
He hasn't really featured very much, to be honest. Because obviously, like our age, we listen to Chris Moyles. I still listen to Chris Moyles on the radio, and I think he's very funny. But they didn't give him a lot of camera time, so I imagine he probably was just quite shy in retiring. He didn't, in such a big group of however many celebrities there are, you kind of don't want to stand out like a sore thumb because.
No.
I don't know. You could get on people's tits quite easily. So I think he's probably been quite self-aware that he could be seen as quite annoying if he's his radio persona and over the top.
Is it still on that?
It is. So today we're recording this on Saturday, November the 26th, and it's the penultimate day today. So tomorrow is the final. So they'll be down to 3, and the last 4 who are left in are Mike Tyndall, Matt Hancock, Jill Scott, and Owen, surname I can't remember. But Owen's really nice. I kind of hope either Owen or Jill win it. Mike Tyndall's come across decent as well. Matt Hancock, who was the controversial character, has, I'm surprised he's still getting voted in, but he has shown that he's just human. I'm still not sure I'd particularly want to go for a beer with him, but you can kind of, he's obviously won himself some fans. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who are like, no, he's a twat, he shouldn't be in there. And there'll be other people who are like, he's lovely, he's just shown that he's just a real human being and he's just misunderstood. So, divisive. But I've enjoyed it. On the whole, I've enjoyed it. Ant and Dec make it. They're very funny. And again, I can tell I'm getting old when the fact that I'm like, oh, Ant and Dec, they're just such lovely boys and they make me laugh. But it's... I'm a Celebrity this year has been as good as it ever is, and hurrah that it celebrates and puts people in there who are just not all completely bitchy and horrible and nasty. It shines a light on the fact that some people are just decent. So bravo to Jill and Owen and to all of them, really. Fair play to them.
Bravo, hear, hear.
Hear, hear. So yeah, I'm a celeb. Well done.
So what's your first look, Craig?
Well, my first... I've got one big one and I've got a few little ones.
Hey, sorry.
4. So anyway, so I would actually suggest have you got 2 today?
I have.
So I would like to be the meat in between the Walliam sandwich, if that's okay. Oh. So I'd like you to start today, if that's all right.
Okay.
With one of your first looks. Sorry to just.
My first look, as we experienced in the last podcast, this is a safe place.
Safe place.
Discuss certain matters and sort of things like that, and different phenomenons. So the first look we're going to look at today, Craig. So this goes back a few years ago, and this is a bit of a problem I have. I have a bit of a problem.
Oh dear! Share it with the audience.
So me and fiance. A few years ago, we're in bed, just on our phones, just scrolling through different pictures and sort of things like that, and then sort of Georgie looks across and says, "What are you looking at?"
Was it Wookiee erotica?
And then and then I'm all like shy and sheepish, like not showing my phone. And she's like, "Are you looking at boobs and things? What are you looking at?"
Boobs and things. She knows you so well.
And then let's see if I can send you an example.
Let's come on my phone.
But then I showed her my screen.
It's not.
It's
not boobs.
And there you go. So what are you seeing there, Craig?
So again, listeners, this is one of the wonderful things about doing this podcast. I've known Williams for many years, right? Like we've been mates for 20 years, and there are still things that I don't know about the enigma that is Williams. So he was in bed, probably getting himself warmed up to put some moves on Georgie, and as she rightly said, are you looking at boobs and things? No. Williams was looking at pictures of rabbits in teacups.
Bunnies in cups.
Bunnies in cups. Okay, you're going to have to explain this, mate. You're going to have to explain this because I don't get it at all. But bunnies in cups.
Either do I, Craig. Either do I. So just normal bunny. I don't find cute at all. But a bunny in a cup it is a phenomenon that does affect other people out there, and and bunnies in cups are quite cute. So I have been known to now and again look at a picture of a bunny in a cup.
Wait,
that's my confession. Like you said, it's a safe place to discuss these sorts of things.
I'm glad you brought it to our attention, Williams.
Yeah, yeah.
It's you are right.
Yeah, and Georgie was quite concerned at the images I was looking at. But bunnies in cups.
Bunnies in cups. Georgie was concerned, yet she still said yes when you asked her to marry her.
Yeah, yes.
She knew that you like to look at bunnies in cups instead of boobs. Now, listeners, so the pictures he sent
I like to look at boobs as well, but
boobs in cups. That could be next episode.
Well, maybe, yeah. But no, a cup.
Cup.
There's nothing about a cup. Bunnies. I'm not bothered about bunnies.
But bunnies in cups.
Bunnies in cups. Aren't they cute?
Well, it could lead you down all kinds of paths, couldn't it? When you put two random things together, what are the results? So yes, in this instance, I can concur. The bunny, these pictures of bunnies in cups are extremely cute. They make me. I know we're nearly at Christmas, but they make me feel like it's almost coming up to Easter.
Warm inside, isn't it?
They do, yeah. That I can see them. Especially, I'm admiring some of the teacups. I know my wife is a big fan of a traditional teacup with a floral pattern.
There you go.
So
put a bunny in it.
Yeah. We used to have a bunny when we were young. We had a little bunny. It killed itself.
And you had cups, I'm sure.
We did have some cups. We never put them together. I think our bunny electric. I could be wrong. I was very, very young, but I'm pretty sure it chewed through. It got into the house. Or we let it loose in the house, and it chewed through a cable behind the TV and electrocuted itself. And I think it killed itself. So again,
a suicidal bunny.
This is another thing. If you were, no, I wouldn't say it was suicidal. It just obviously there's probably some crumbs behind the telly or something. But this is a reminder that to take bunny safety seriously, Williams. Take a bunny safe. If you have a bunny, bunnies are not just for life, and all that jazz.
No.
So, how did you find this phenomenon, bunnies in cups? How did you get?
I don't actually know, Craig. I think I stumbled across it, and I just felt very, very hoppy afterwards.
Very hot. Feel all warm and fluffy inside.
But I'm not usually one for cuteness, bunnies in cups.
Bunnies in cups. I don't. Do you think a bunny in cup would be better than, say, a puppy in a bucket? Or
I've not experienced a puppy in a bucket.
Or a kitten in a shoe. Like a tiny kitten in a giant shoe.
I'm not getting any. No, that's the weird thing. I'm not really getting any vibes, any cute vibes from a puppy in a bucket or a. What was the other one?
A kitten in a shoe. Puppy in a bucket sounds quite sinister, doesn't it? That sounds like one of those things where you're like a puppy.
Yeah, no.
I didn't mean it to. So, okay, a child in a Moses basket. There we go. Which is more common.
No.
Yeah,
I should do. I've also got a little sprout on the way.
Yeah,
no.
Let's be honest. Babies are ugly buggers, aren't they? Anyway, they don't actually look nice until they're about 6 months old. I could be wrong. I know they're like, oh, it's a little baby, but they just look like squished up gremlins when they first come out. I remember when Braden first came out, I was like, oh, no. But, do I love him? Clearly, instantly. Do I think he's handsome? No. He's got a squished up face. His head's all wonky and he's covered in muconium. You got all this to come, Williams.
Yeah, or maybe I'll just look at pictures of bunnies and cups.
Bunnies in cups, yeah. Keep it for bunnies in cups, yeah. But it would be interesting to hear what our listeners would like to see put together: a bunny and a cup.
Yeah, write in to firstlookgnomes@outlook.com.
I am a graphic designer, so I'm sure we could try some of these things and see if they.
Yes.
Let's see how many different things we can pair up.
Write in, and we'll create a picture. Yeah, so it's got to be, I would say, an animal, a living thing, and an object that you can put
some kind of like a vase.
This could go very wrong.
I want to see a rhino in a vase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be realistic as well. It has to be able to. It could be a rhino in a skip. we'll do 3 or 4 photoshops and see if we'll present them to Williams in the next episode.
And to be honest, this is a podcast, so we can create whatever we want and share it with the world, and no one can see it.
Well, that's it. And we'll try and keep them all PC, and we'll see if they give you the feels. Williams, bunnies in cups. Who'd have thought it?
Yeah. See if I'm quite interested to see if there's
a bunny
anything else out there that gives me the same feelings as bunnies and cups.
Is there anything that you know of that makes you feel the same way?
No.
No. Okay. Well, no. Anyone who wants to send a lovely Christmas present to Cornish Dan, a bunnies in cups calendar for 2023 would probably be well received for his office. So, well, thank you for sharing, Williams.
It would actually. Yeah.
I'm not concerned at all about your mental health. On we march. Okay. Well, should we jump onto my first look?
Yeah, if you could, save the.
Well, this is mine's the more obvious one.
Give a bit more normality. Yeah.
Well, today, Williams, we're now almost a week into the World Cup. So my Can you do the John Barnes rap?
No.
We've been trying to convince. Well, we've been working on Braden for 3 years now, getting him slowly and surely up there to try and teach him all the words. So with that one day, I can film him and then embarrass him when he's older.
Well, I was listening to Radio 2 as
a man of your age does, yes.
And it was a Dermot O'Leary 90s alternative World Cup music.
Nice.
And you forget how many songs football related we used to do back in the 90s. Like now they don't.
No.
Really, they just sort of recreate the old ones, rehash ones. But there's a lot of songs. There's the obvious ones that you can think of. There's loads of other ones. People just doing football songs left, right, and centre.
Well, it was a bit like it's a bit like Christmas songs, isn't it? If you,
I suppose we had the Euro '96 here, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
But you think so? If you look at like the Christmas songs now, so Mariah Carey, Slade, all those people making thousands and thousands of pounds every year because the songs got brought out. You think of Baddiel, Skinner, and the Lightning Seeds. Yeah. Every 2 years. Every summer that England or even the Euros and the World Cup, that song gets blasted out.
And now Baddiel and Skinner have actually got the opportunity to do a Christmas number one as well.
Unbelievable, Jeff. So you can understand why so many people tried it. I do remember some of the horror shows like It's on the Ball. Considering we talked about Ent and Dec and how much I like them. Oh, it was awful.
That's a good one.
It's not a good one. What was it like? What was it like? Rio to Scalzi, Scalzi, Gerard. It's just like cringeworthy.
Gerard.
5-1. There was some horror shows, but there are some classics. I mean, World in Motion is still my favourite. Can't beat that one.
Yeah,
it's better. It shits out all over 3 lines.
World in Motion.
It's actually a half decent song, but in the middle of it, John Barnes does a rap. I mean, you couldn't write that.
Well,
I mean, they did. But
does he do a rap?
Well, kind of. Yeah, it's a better rap than you or me could do.
Well, yeah, and it's a bit of a slow rap.
Yeah, but I mean, the man gave it his all, and he's still milking it now. Have you seen some of the videos when he goes places? So, like, I remember, was it last summer, Euro 2020, which was actually done in 2021. He was in Marbella or something, and I think it was Colin Murray was DJing, and John Barnes came up with him, and everyone wanted him to do the John Barnes rap, and apparently he did that, and he also did what's it called, Rapper's Delight, the whole version of that. And I remember Colin Murray was saying in his radio show, like, yeah, he's very shy. John Barnes is a very shy guy, but obviously he just loves the attention it brings him, milks it for all it's worth. I played to him.
John Barnes, Newcastle legend, John Barnes.
Was he a Newcastle legend?
Top scorer in '98, I think it was.
No way! I didn't even know John Barnes was still playing in '98.
Alan Shearer broke his leg, so we got in John Barnes and Ian Rush for the last season of football.
My goodness! Every day's a school day.
Yeah.
If anyone who didn't know, Williams is a Newcastle
40,
fan.
Yeah, being from Cornwall, obviously a Newcastle fan.
He wanted the short commute. I can just nip down and watch them. It's only 12 hours drive. But no, the World Cup. So the World Cup is on. The World Cup has started. It started with it's obviously started under controversial circumstances with the fact that they kind of, it's a well-known secret now that they bought the World Cup. They paid some of the voters big bungs to try and get the World Cup there. A World Cup from an organisation called FIFA, whose values are about respect and sharing the beautiful game. Take it to a country where
human rights are limited.
Yes, exactly. So I'm not one of these people who would say, "Oh, boycott the World Cup," etc., etc. It's in Qatar, and if you're going to go to Qatar, you have to respect their rules. But I am a bit opposed to the fact that it was there in the first place. When you think not that you have to send it to a liberal country, but at least let the countries who are more willing to.
Some sort of baseline of human rights as they've got a tick or something.
Absolutely,
tick and qualifier. But
exactly, you can't. The football is the world's game, which means you're going to get people from all walks of life who are interested in it. And Qatar, being quite a strict conservative Muslim country, has very set rules around alcohol and homosexuality, and you think sending a World Cup there, is it the smartest idea? And I understand on one hand the idea of getting it there and raising the profile of the country and introducing people to the country and showing how beautiful it is. And understand for people who, when they're like, for example, my wife and I have been to Dubai, and we're like, no, we've chosen to go to Dubai. The rules are the rules. We will follow the rules because it's their country. But it's different when it's a World Cup, I think, and obviously anyone who goes there should respect the country's rules. But the fact that people have to then choose, do I even want to go to the World Cup? You think, no, everybody should want to go to the World Cup, and everybody should be welcome to go to the World Cup, and then be able to, be their authentic self, so to speak. But we are there.
What have you seen so far? What's your first look, your first impression?
First impression is it's a pain in the bloody arse because of the times. Because the first match you start at 10 o'clock in the morning. Some of us have a job, so it's been really hard. So the only matches I've been able to see have really been the 7 o'clock ones. Apart from the England one, which I started work early that day, and we had a couple of hours off and put it up on the big screen in the office, which was good. But from what I've seen so far, it's not been bad. I mean, you can see the stadiums are beautiful, and the country looks like Qatar looks. You can see they're obviously very wealthy, and you can see from the architecture and the stadium designs. You're like, okay, they've put everything into it to make it look nice. It's weird because on the side of the pitches they've got these fans, so you'll see behind the advertising boards they've got these walls and they've got these big portholes which are fans blowing cool air into the stadiums, and you never see anything like it. But it's not been too bad. I mean, obviously Qatar themselves as a football team, they're already knocked out. So spoiler alert, they lost the first 2 games and are out. It's a country of 3 million people, and they haven't got the richest.
Argentina lost their first game too, didn't they?
They did, yeah. That was a bit of a shock. But England looked very good in the first game, and then looked very mediocre in the second game. But they got a point. Yeah, America aren't a bad team either. Well, to make something very simple, Williams, I've got some first look World Cup related stats. So I'm it's going to work a bit like a quiz.
Okay.
So if over the top of this we can relay some quiz-like
Are we
music.
having any listeners dialing in to?
Well, I'll leave a bit of a pause and play along at home. If you are interested in the World Cup and you want to try and answer these questions, you feel free. They're all first look related in some way. So
Here we go.
question number 1: first country to host the World Cup.
First country to host the World Cup was South American, I believe.
It was,
And it was a bit random one, so it would be Uruguay.
It was Uruguay.
Hey!
Correct. And do you know the year? Do you happen to know the year, just for a bonus point?
The year, I would guess, so early 1900s, 1919. Was it after the war? Before the war? Before the war?
Which war?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few, unfortunately.
I'll give you a
around
clue. It's between wars.
Between wars. Okay, so it's probably 1928.
Oh, very close. 1930.
1930.
And the next question, Williams. Question number 2. Who was the first country to win the World Cup?
The first country to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Same as the hosts, Uruguay?
Correct.
Hey.
Well done. Trick question. Nosy stuff. Not just a pretty face and a sexy voice. Who was the first country to win it twice?
First country to win it twice. I mean, not that many countries have won it. So I'm going to guess between... I know Brazil won it quite a few times.
They have.
So I'm going to go Brazil.
It was Italy. Italy won it twice. They won the second one and then the third one.
Okay.
Okay, so what year? When was the first time that the World Cup was expanded to 32 teams?
The first time the World Cup was expanded to 32 teams, fairly recent actually. I would say South Africa.
Not where, but when. What year?
Oh, when? Oh, when the South Africa one was?
No, much earlier than that.
Oh, much earlier.
It was in Spain.
Oh.
It was the famous Northern Irish one when I want to say Jerry Kelly scored a wonder goal against Spain.
No, don't
19 something. I'll give you that.
Don't know. 1958.
1982. First time it was expanded to 32 teams. Probably the only reason Northern Ireland qualified.
Oh.
First player to score in 5 World Cups.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
The first male player. Brazil's Marta Vieira da Silva becomes the first player to score in 5 World Cups in the 2019 World Cup.
What's our thoughts on Cristiano Ronaldo?
He's a bit of a legend, isn't he? But I'm not quite sure.
It's a difficult one. He's a bit of a legend, but sometimes comes across a bit of a knobhead.
Oh, you can't be that good and not love yourself a little bit, though.
But I think he's a bit like Thierry Henry. I think he's good, so he can be that.
Yeah, he backs it up. You know,
Yeah.
I can't forgive him. Like Piers Morgan, like if you're gonna do an interview, why go to Piers bloody Morgan? I just can't stand Piers Morgan. But you know, it is what it is. Ronaldo is a brand in himself. So
We are lucky that we had Ronaldo and Messi in our era.
absolutely.
Two great.
No, I'm not a Man United fan, but you know I've always enjoyed watching Ronaldo. I remember there were periods where like you'd watch, even when he went to Real Madrid, I'd watch a Real Madrid game, even though I didn't really have any interest in Spanish football, just because I wanted to see Ronaldo play. So
Yeah.
you know it'll be fine. So first time England won the World Cup, Williams.
1966.
And so people say all we ever go on about is 1966 as English people.
When was the last time they won a World Cup?
1966.
Hey.
So, who was the first European team to both host the World Cup the same year as they won the World Cup?
I'm gonna say England.
Italy in 1934.
Oh.
And we've already had the first player to score in 5 World Cups. Who was the first country to win it 5 times?
Brazil.
Yeah, and I think that obviously they're the only ones to win it 5 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, that concludes our first look at the World Cup.
Hey.
So by the time our next pod comes out, we'll probably know who is in the semi-finals. Yeah, so that'll be cool. It might be quarterfinals. I'm not sure. We haven't confirmed when the next one is, but we will probably touch on the World Cup next time.
Wow, we've got our Christmas special.
Oh yes, we've got our Christmas special coming up, haven't we?
So yes,
where we will have some special guests,
which will probably become a bit more darts orientated.
Because darts is the best sport in the world. Anyone who says it's not a sport and says it's a game can do one.
So there we go. So that was our first look at Qatar 2022.
Oh, Williams. Sorry to come in middle of a tangent, but we still never actually clarified.
Pardon? Excuse me
for coming in the middle. Coming.
What are you doing?
Coming at a tangent. Coming in a tangent. Just come. I'm going to stop talking.
You're coming in a tangerine.
That would sting. No, Williams, no. I don't know why someone is coming to my head, but Titanic Wrestling, we still didn't confirm who the champion was. But we have confirmation now.
People have been waiting on tenterhooks.
Tenterhooks, yeah.
Yeah. Who was the winner of Belfast Titanic?
So the winner of the championship match and current reigning Titanic Wrestling champion is none other than Bobby Diamond.
Drum roll, please.
Oh yeah, drum roll. Sorry,
Bobby Diamond.
Bobby Diamond.
Yay.
So he won the championship belt.
That's a bit of a quicker. No, almost as long actually as the baby gender reveal.
Yeah, almost.
Episode
almost.
1, wasn't it?
It's amazing the subjects we cover, Williams. It really is. How the heck we have actual people listening to this?
Bobby Diamond. Well done, and congrats to Bobby.
Yes,
Diamond.
the next Titanic Wrestling event is in a couple of weeks in December. They're having a Christmas special, and Bobby Diamond will be defending his belt. I'll be there cheering him on. So yeah.
Is the WWE glamour model WWE
I can't remember her name. Maya. Yes, she will be there. I think she's on the card. So yes, I'll get you a signed picture, Williams, and send it to you
please. Yeah.
You can put it next to you.
And Bobby Diamond, please.
Bobby Diamond picture, a Maya picture, and a Bunnies in Cups calendar. Coming your way. And that's coming your way, not coming in a tangerine.
In a tangerine.
Which is something very different. And we will have a first look at that on the next episode. How to keep downstairs fresh. Citrus.
Yes. And that's why we haven't done a YouTube channel. We're not entering the YouTuber market. We'll stick with.
Yes, and we will try and make this podcast cleaner. We shouldn't go down the blue route very often. It's not very Christian of us. So we will move on. So Williams, that was the World Cup. That was Bobby Diamond. What is your next first look, my friend?
My first look. I mean,
your last first look.
I'm sure you're probably scared to ask after the last few.
I mean, I'm intrigued. I could have a guess, but
intrigued.
Cornish knockers.
So my first look. Yeah, probably some more pictures.
Okay, while you do that, I'm going to open a can of beer.
Because podcasting, is the best medium to share visual material.
While you do that, Williams, I'm going to make a lovely sound effect.
Ooh, lovely sound effect. Is that a doom bar?
It's a Hopple Hammer from Whitewater Brewing Co.
Hopple Hammer.
Upstream Irish
Hopple
beer.
Hammer.
This brewery, Whitewater Brewing Co. For anybody living,
the can design looks the same as a doom bar.
Oh, does it? It's a fantastic brewery. I actually went there on a day trip.
Yeah.
They make a beer called Maggie's Leap. They make this Hopple Hammer. They make other things. They are one of my favourite local Northern Irish breweries. So Whitewater Brewing Co. You have my love and affection.
Oh, it's a good sound.
It was a good sound. So, have you sent me through what you were going to send me?
No, I'm not yet. I'm about to now. But I mean, seeing as you're a graphic designer, and because to make sure our topics are a bit more cultured.
Oh yes.
I'm quite keen to sort of get your opinion on a first look at artificial intelligent art.
Oh, yes.
So there, I think. Or did I accidentally send more bunnies and cups?
No. This is definitely an artificial art. Is this where I have to try and guess what you said as well to make this art? Did you make this?
No. These ones.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make. No. These ones I've just sent you are have got artists in an uproar because they were created by basically a computer.
Well, you are speaking to the right person about this subject, Williams, because we use artificial art in my job. We have.
Well, there you go.
We have been using it recently, and we have been debating as well the pros and cons of artificial art. So, for those of you for the people who don't know about it, Williams, give them a bit of introduction, because most people are, what do you mean artificial intelligence creating art? What is this?
So, yeah, artificial intelligence art is AI for short. Basic computers creating images, and all you do really is sort of give them prompts, and give them some direction in terms of what you want, and the computer within literally seconds will create a piece of art.
So, for example, William, say you were a company who makes, I don't know, really lovely beer, and it's made using water from a waterfall in the Amazon desert. You could use artificial art to try and visually represent that by kind of saying, you could give it some prompts like waterfall, beer, Amazon, and then you can give it an art style as well, can't you? So say you wanted it to be, look like a sketch. You could say those three things and sketch, or kind of. I
mean, the more information, the better. Really.
Yes. And it is freaky. So the way it works, it kind of obviously scans the internet for millions of images that would, be related to beer, and effectively amalgamates them into something. The results seem to be pretty good most of the time. They're always very fun. It's pretty impressive, and the speed it does it as well. So there's a few different ones out there, isn't there? There's a few different tools out there that you can use, and again, they're all usually in beta mode. So,
and it's only getting better, isn't it?
It is.
It's only getting better.
It is. So there's if you Google it, for example, there's tons of them. So there's, I don't know which one you use, Williams, but there's like Hotpot, there's Coding Gem, there's ISO, Neural Love, Star AI, Art Breeder.
I used Wonder, I think it's called.
Wonder, yeah.
But there's loads out there. Just it's quite fascinating, but also quite scary. It's obviously, with artists, you either sort of use it to support your work, or there's the argument that it's taking away the artist's eye, as it were.
Well, I'll give you an example, Williams. So we hired a few years ago. We hired a young artist from Belfast to do some Belfast city skyline images. So hand-drawn style. We use these in an advertising campaign, and we'd seen something that she'd done similar. Contacted her, and paid her to do these images for us. And then we had another one where we did a campaign for a company, and it was about riding a tiger, not a turtle. So we commissioned an American artist to create this visual of a business person riding a tiger. And the one image cost us £2,000 to have commissioned, and then the Belfast City Skylines were a bit cheaper. But then when we started playing around with AI and AI images, we tried to replicate these to see, we paid someone to do this, what kind of a job could AI do?
Yeah. And
it's, as you say, brilliant and frightening all at the same time, because the results were pretty damn good. And very similar to...
I'll send you another picture. This one I created myself.
Okay.
Is this
a bunny in a cup? Am I about to look at another bunny in a cup? No. Okay. Oh dear, what is that?
So that, Craig. That Craig
is Lucy Pinder.
That's Lucy Pinder wearing a gnome hat.
See, I could tell straight away that was Lucy Pinder.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And then
I used to love Lucy Pinder. Oh, we had for those of you in the know, just to again take a tangent, not a tangerine. When we lived at university together, we had because of her name is Lucy Pinder. She's a pin-up girl. We had a Lucy Pinder board, which was a pin board, which we covered in the Pinder board, which we covered in picture of Lucy Pinder. Then we had the Lucy Pin door, because her name was Lucy Pinder, and we put pictures of Lucy Pinder all over the pin door. Oh, and now we've got a picture of Lucy Pinder as some kind of sexy gnome. So yes, it's amazing what you can do with artificial art.
I've just sent you another one as well.
A bunny, that's a gnome in a cup. Yes. Yeah. So, and they're quite the images themselves are quite good. It's it looks like you paid an artist to do them, so they're good fun. But you do worry that it's gonna absolutely annihilate freelance artists and professional artists.
Yeah, I think it would change because in terms of the prompts you might use and styles, you'll use actual artists, so that initial original idea and style would still have to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So obviously the AI doesn't come up that original idea.
Yeah.
Etc. Style. Yeah, no, I find it quite fascinating.
It is. It's terrifying, though, isn't it?
It's scary as well.
You look at you've seen some of the deep fake stuff as well. The thing they can do with deep. So obviously there's deep fake visual, but obviously the deep fake audio now. So you'd have seen the story where.
Well, just think within seconds, I've created Lucy Pinder wearing a.
Yeah, and it looks good.
Imagine what else you could do.
Yeah. The deepfake stuff.
Actually, don't. Sorry, Craig. Don't imagine that.
No. The deepfake audio stuff, the deepfake visual stuff. I was like, oh, okay. So they can make Barack Obama look like he's saying, "Oh, we should go and nuke Vladimir Putin." I was like, yeah, but you've still got to have his voice. You can't just get a sound alike. But now, is it James L. Jones, the guy who did Darth Vader? He sold the rights to his voice, so Disney are now able to recreate his voice to use as Darth Vader till the end of time. So. Even though James L. Jones is in his 90s and will probably pass in the next 10 or 15 years,
he will be around.
He will be voicing Darth Vader, and they will be using artificial intelligence to make his voice sound like him.
And they can do any words, because there have been occasions where they sort of use old audio clips and then sort of chop it and sort of make it into a fresh sentence, whereas now they can actually get them to say whatever they
want. And you think of like the hologram music show. So you look at the ABBA one, the ABBA Forever one, which apparently is meant to be very good. So you can go and watch an ABBA concert. And I haven't been, but you can imagine the technology behind that is only going to get better and better and better. So how long until we can go to a Michael Jackson concert? A Prince concert.
We might go to that Michael Jackson concert that we had tickets for that unfortunately we never.
Exactly, with a full live band, but then a hologram of Michael Jackson and his voice artificially changed, so we can be like, "Hello, Wolverhampton." It's like, oh my god, it really sounds like him. It's
actually.
So you think of all the creative and fun possibilities with it, but then you think of all the sinister things, like you look at the deepfake porn stuff, and it's terrifying. You think, the idea of people.
There might be a super fan out there at the moment using mine and your voice for some sort of deep fake
nefarious activity. Yes, I think there's people prettier and who sound better than us, but you can imagine, you read some of the horror stories, and then you think what the governments are doing. You think of propaganda and the way that the media works and the way that. A
lot of this stuff we've got access to now, they would have had access to probably 10 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. It's Yeah, you have no idea what people are up to with it, do you? And what they're doing. But you know that old argument, you have a debate in a pub with some people and you can just basically tell what newspaper they read because we all just regurgitate the sensationalised headline that we happen to see. So if you're a Guardian reader, my opinion is exactly what the person in the Guardian said and I read this morning, so that's now my opinion. And if you're the Sun reader, I just believe what the Sun said. So
which these days it's on your Facebook algorithm.
Well, that's it. Well, that's exactly it. You get even more entrenched in one way of thinking. So you think of adding all this AI intelligence into the mix and deepfake aesthetics, deepfake voices, artificial intelligence. You think, goodness knows if you're ever going to be able to believe anything ever again. But I can rest assured, dear listeners, that this is genuinely me talking. It's genuinely Dan Williams talking. Or is it? Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, but I just sent you another image as well, didn't you?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this one. Very nice. Very nice, yes.
Yeah. So that's me. I'm an artist.
You are an artist. You're an artiste. That's a very good.
Whereas I'm not. It's it is scary what can be.
We're gonna have to set up a blog, Williams, to share all these pictures.
What can be created. Yeah.
It is.
But write-ins to firstlookgnomes@outlook.com with your ideas other than bunnies and cups, because perhaps we can use some AI to create some of your ideas.
Oh, that's it. Rhino in a skip. That's the one I want to see. Rhino in a skip. Oh, right. But we'll save that for next time. But no, it is. Yeah. If I was obviously working in the creative arts ourselves, there's so many tools out there now for people to do what I would have got paid for. So when I started my career, when I was 21, 22, and had to make a flyer or a poster for a company, it would have been a good few hours work doing the layout and stuff. Now you can go on Canva, pick a template, put your own text and images in, boom, done in 5 minutes. So good on for Canva and good for giving people creative tools. But at the time, I was like, let me. It's I used to get paid maybe £150 to do a poster. Now nobody will pay me 20 quid.
It's a whole new world. New world. There you go. That was a little first look at artificial intelligence.
Well, I enjoyed that. That was a great topic, Williams. I like that. The moral implications of it all. It's probably probably go listen to a Radio 4 podcast to get actual in-depth opinion. Yeah. But it is interesting. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Any first looks coming up?
I've got a few. I've got a few quickies just to. I'm not doing two today. The World Cup was a big one, so I'll do a few quickies. Yeah. So last time I was doing a few shout-outs to things that we'd seen and had first looks at. And so since our last podcast, there's been a couple of other things that I've seen that I think, I'm going to give a shout-out to them. So I went to a shout-out. I went to a pub the other day in Belfast called the Jailhouse. It was a very classy bar. Me and a friend of mine stood at the bar and we had a good chinwag.
Classy bar for classy people?
Classy bar for classy people. It was, we had to go down a little alleyway called Joy's Entry to get in, which I quite enjoyed, going into Joy's Entry. And they had good beer on tap. The ambience was good. They had a nice fireplace and Jailhouse in Belfast. I was like, this is great. And this was on a Thursday night, so we'd been in and we also had a look at our first look at the Belfast Christmas market, which again, for anyone of you in Northern Ireland, Christmas markets have been around for 15, 20 years. I feel like I've been going to a Christmas market every year for a long time, and they get a bit monotonous and they're all a bit samey. But the Belfast one this year, again, it was class. Some of the stalls are selling decent stuff, and it's not too overpriced. And they've got the beer is overpriced. We went in; they've got a beer tent there.
Any mulled wine?
Yes, they do have mulled wine. We went into hear this, Williams. So again, hear this. We went into the Christmas market beer tent. We had 1 pint of cider and 1 pint of beer served in plastic cups. How much do you think it was for 2 drinks at a Christmas market? After I've just said it wasn't expensive, this was £18 for 2 drinks. That was just like, oh, flip me. And it was bung, the place, you couldn't move. But no, Christmas market was still fun. And yeah, coming up, and by the next time we go, the next one, we're going to the Telegraph Building, which I've never been to see a band called Blossoms, who I've also never seen live. So I will report on how good it was.
Your first look at Blossoms?
My first look at Blossoms live. I like them. They're a talented bunch of boys. So it'd be interesting to see them live. It's been a long time since I've gone to one of those kind of gigs as well. Or it feels like a long time anyway.
Yeah. Well, see if they want to do a guest appearance. Then.
They may wish to come and appear on the First Look Gnomes podcast. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
So for the Spotify, Google listeners that search for, found us by searching for jokes about gnomes. I've got a couple of jokes for you, Craig.
Yes, please. Looking forward to this.
You said that through gritted teeth. What do you call a psychic gnome who escaped from prison?
I don't know, Williams. What do you call a psychic gnome who's escaped from prison?
A small, medium, at large.
That's quite clever for a gnome joke. Very good.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Gnome. I can't reach the doorbell.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Yeah. And why are gnome jokes all one-liners?
I don't know.
They're always short.
They're always dum. It's how you tell them, Williams. It's how you tell them.
I guess it's the end of the episode. So what's the cliff edge porcelain gnome hanging on for this week?
I don't.
Or this month?
What's the? Please explain that again.
The cliffhanger. So the gnomes on the cliff.
Oh
edge.
yes. So what
What is the cliffhanger?
What are we giving people to have to wait for till next time? I guess it's a very simple one. Will England, Wales, or USA qualify? Who will get eliminated from Group B? Who will finish top? Who will win in the Battle of Britain?
Who will appear on the Christmas special?
Oh yes, that's true. That is a cliff edge.
What will we discuss in the Christmas special?
Probably something to do with Christmas, eh? We can talk about the first Christmas. Yeah, you may have heard about it. Jesus was born. No, you never heard about it? I'll tell you that one. It's a good story. I'll share that one with you. But yes, who's going to join us? That'll be good.
Yeah, that will be the key.
Yeah. Well, until next time.
So, until next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Rio to Scalzi, Gerard.